talking to kindergartners and crap. I said, do you know what self-esteem is? And a 5-year-old goes,
self-esteem is like when you're outside and it's real cold and you start to talk and steam comes right out of your mouth.
And I asked one little kindergartner, I go, what's that little girl? She's kind of angry, huh? He goes,
that little girl is an emotional porcupine.
Even when I got mad at my kids, I love my kids so much. Even when I got mad at them, I love them so much they crack me up because my little boy, he's studying to be a doctor now. He's been down with Doctors Without Borders in Nicaragua. And he makes me laugh because when he was a little guy, he had a flat voice and he would yell. You'll love being moms and dads. It's the greatest, coolest thing in the world. And I love being a dad. And my little son, he'd like wake up at night and he'd go like this, out of nowhere, late at night. Daddy! Daddy! I really want to drink a water!
No! Don't wake Daddy up like that! Zach, you'll give me a heart attack!
Oh, do not wake me up like
Mommy and Daddy are sleeping!
we're sleeping. Do not go to sleep. Fluff your pillow. No water. You'll have to go to the bathroom. Go to sleep. Wait your brothers and sisters. 5 minutes goes by. Daddy! What? I do not want to come up there and spank you! And my wife goes,
You have never spanked him one time.
my wife goes, pretty soon, 5 minutes goes by. Daddy! What? When you come up to spank me, will you bring me a big glass of water? And I learned. That's why I love them. But then kids teach your heart. Just look up here now. Why? You don't know it, but I've been out working with children all over for a lot of times, and I know this sometimes. Look at me. There's a kid in the school that sometimes gets hurt a lot at home. Sometimes he gets hurt, and he doesn't need, or she doesn't need any pain on the plate anymore from us. And there's a little kid that comes to school sometimes that doesn't always have enough food or nice clothes. And maybe we could be kind and not make fun of them. Not tease them. Look at me, please. A scale can measure the weight of a person, but not the worth of their spirit and their heart. And when you're making fun of kids, yeah, corny, isn't it? So corny. And when you see a cynical kid, you know they know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And when you see a kid who's a person who's teasing kids because of their weight or their size, they do it because they're really afraid and ashamed of themselves. And they get up with other kids and they'll start pulling on a group to hurt other people. And they don't realize they're destroying their own heart. Because hurt people, but pain shared is pain divided. And joy shared is joy multiplied, where we help each other. Think with your hearts. Especially if you've been the one who got bullied and teased first, and now you've turned that poison. When you hate and pick on other people, it's like you drink poison and expect someone else to get sick and die. Think with your hearts. We love you. You're great kids. I had a little girl, some people might have thought she was from a poor family, but she's from the wealthiest because mom and dad had taught them art. I said, how do you make friends with somebody who's different? She goes,
Mr. Mike, I had a friend from first grade. She was like hungry in her eyes for somebody to be her friend.
I go, what do you mean hungry in her eyes?
She's deaf, she cannot hear, so she doesn't know, and I saw she's lonely for friends. She goes, so in the middle of first grade, I decided to take a course in sign language for 4 weeks, for an hour a day. And now that little girl and I are like best friends. My mom took off work to come up to help us. Now we're like best friends and I love her. She gives me corazón, which is the Spanish word for heart. And I go, wasn't that nice of your mom to take you up there every day? And she goes, well, yeah. Well, it was nice to meet him up there too. I said, what did you learn from learning to do sign language and to make sure she felt included? And she goes, now I always listen a lot more with my eyes and my heart than I do with my ears and my brain. Listen now with your eyes and your heart. Listen with your eyes and your heart. You're great kids, but look at what culture does to them. Don't lie to me either. How many of you have played that video game Grand Theft Auto Vice City? You run over homeless people.
You hit a woman in the head with a tire iron. You run over paramedics and firefighters and... Am I right? Yes. Hands down. Hands down. Look at me, please. Think about just what happened here. I say we run over homeless people and there's laughter. Yeah, of course. Of course. Look up here. I say we hit a woman in the head with a tire iron. So now violence has become entertainment to us. Let me help you. The kids at Columbine that shot their classmates and killed them all played a lot of point-and-shoot video games. One of the men that invented the video game, look up here guys and do not talk, was quoted in the paper saying, I'm a deeply disturbed and sick person, and when the kids play that video game, they get sick in their head, but they're the ones that made me a millionaire. Your generation of kids playing a video game, and everybody goes, oh, it doesn't, it's just a video game, Mr. Pritchard, it's just a video game. But here's the point. I had a kid last year said, listen to the words. Mr. Pritchard, too many kids in America are crying with bullets instead of tears. We love you, we want you safe and well. We love you, we want you safe. I is illness, we is wellness. We take care of each other's hearts. One of the guys that invented, you know how police officers train right now? You know what they get cops to say to get young people to put their guns down when they have guns? Game over! Game over! That's the same thing that comes up at the end of a video game. Many times the kid will just put the gun down because he thinks he's in a video game. We love you. You know what we do? We train our officers, we train people sometimes. You got to think with your hearts to be community, to be village at your school, to be looking out for each other. You don't have to use your words as weapons. You should use your words as shields to protect each other. Be a protector and connector of the vulnerable kids at school's hearts. Instead of making fun of the kids sitting all alone and lonely, reach out to them and get to know them. I speak to your heart. You know I speak truth. And if you drink that hate down, that poison down, it'll take you early if you're hating. Now, look at modern culture. I had 2 gang members. As I crossed America, there was 11 gang kids that had bullet entry wounds, and they were all amazed at how bad it hurts when you get shot. Duh. It's not a video game. This is not a cartoon show. This is your real actual life, guys. Protect yourselves. Protect your classmates. Stand up. Dr. King's line goes all the way through. It's not our enemies that hurt us the most. It's our best friends that don't stand. They stand by and I'll witness. Don't stand by to watch cruelty. Defend. Stand up against cruelty with your classmates and your friends. Bullies don't have any real friends. They have fearful followers, afraid they'll become the target of the bully. That's not friendship. That's fearship. Most of the kids that hang out with a bully are afraid because they don't want to be by themselves. They get bullied if they don't hang out with their friend. The best ship to sail on is friendship, real heartfelt friendship. That's why we learn. Now I'll show you something. How many of you watch modern culture? How many of you watch shows like Jerry Springer, Flavor of Love, New Jersey Shore, all these shows? All trash talk. How many of you, let me show you something, because I love you. You're good kids. How many of you hear trash talk, trash talk, trash talk all the time at school and afterwards? Put your hands up high. High. Put your hands up if you hear. Come on. Yeah, you don't hear it. Okay. Look around the room, please. Put your hands back up and look around the room. Yeah, they hear it and you don't because you don't want to put your hand up, right? Hands down. What's happening to us, guys? We get toxed up. Let me show you something. I love you, and I'll make my point. If there was going to be a fight somewhere after school with two girls, how many of you probably can't help yourself? You're going to go over and probably go watch that fight. Raise your hands. Look around the room, please. Hands down. Now, all of a sudden, because everybody's been watching all these shows, these trash talk shows, when the girls get it, is it more likely when the crowd gets there they'll fight or less likely? More. Why are they going to fight more? Because what's the crowd do? They cheer them on to fight. What do they start yelling? When one girl starts talking trash to the other, what's the sound the crowd makes? Because what does it become to you? What do you want to see? All right. Shh. What do you want to see? Yeah. And if you've been watching Jerry Springer, what do you start chanting? Jerry, Jerry. Right? All of a sudden, one girl slaps the other girl. Now what's the crowd do? Now she grabs her hair and punches her. What's the crowd do? Yeah. That's right, son. You're right. You live in your heart. You'll stay there. You'll stay healthy and well. Here's what you don't know that I know after 40 years on the streets. The little girl stumbles backward and her head hits a piece of sharp concrete sticking out. And she starts to not just ooze blood, she starts to pour blood coming out. What do most of the younger kids do? They run. What do the older kids do? How long does it take, with all the economy cut downs, how long does it take the paramedics to find a hyperventilating kid screaming into a phone and doesn't really know the location? How long is it going to take the paramedics to get there? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. What's happening to her? A minute ago, we're sitting in this room laughing, getting them to fight, not breaking it up. And I don't want to think that any one of you would come up after and go, Mr. Pritchard, that could never happen. Tell me. Come with me for a day. I'll take you to places where it happens daily. Think. Think with your hearts. Think about what's happening to us. Don't tell us you're not soaked up in some of this sadness. Be protectors and connectors. Be defenders. Help each other. Don't laugh at a fight. Break the fight up. Don't stand like you're being entertained, because someday it could be your sister or your brother or your cousin or your aunt. We have to be connected to community. We're all responsible to take care of each other's hearts. And when you hear that hate coming your way from others, build a spiritual firewall against that hate. Kindness and compassion. I had an All-American basketball player, and he goes, you know what, Mr. Pritchard, from the time I was in 3rd grade, these kids sent me home crying every day. And it wasn't because my mom and dad lived in a trailer park and I didn't have the perfect clothes to their little preppy yuppie school. Those kids sent me home crying every day, man. They want their picture taken and an autograph because I'm going to be in the NBA. But when I was a kid, they sent me home crying every day. And it was just because I had big ears. And I couldn't tell my mom because she had big ears too. I couldn't tell my dad because he got married to my mom and had a bunch of kids that looked like open car doors.
That little girl is an emotional porcupine.
Even when I got mad at my kids, I love my kids so much. Even when I got mad at them, I love them so much they crack me up because my little boy, he's studying to be a doctor now. He's been down with Doctors Without Borders in Nicaragua. I really want to drink a water.
Don't wake Daddy up like that! Zach, you'll give me a heart attack!
Oh, do not wake me up like
Mommy and Daddy are asleep!
He makes me laugh because when he was a little guy, he had a flat voice and he would yell. You'll love being moms and dads. It's the greatest, coolest thing in the world. And I love being a dad. And my little son, he'd like wake up at night and he'd go like this, out of nowhere, late at night. You're talking to kindergartners and crazy. I said, do you know what self-esteem is? And a 5-year-old goes,
Self-esteem is like when you're outside and it's real cold and you start to talk and steam comes right out of your mouth.
But I asked one little kindergartner, I go, what's that little girl? She's
Kind of angry, huh?
We're sleeping. Do not go to sleep. Fluff your pillow. No water. You'll have to go to the bathroom. Go to sleep. Don't wake your brothers and sisters